Hello, my name is Jason and welcome back to I Have a Story. Um, I'm going to make this video because if anybody out there, I know everybody doesn't watch all my videos, and it's one thing that, again, it's another flaw I have. I, I expect people to, I don't think about sometimes that people didn't watch all these videos, and you hear a video and then you watch one and you go, wow, he's making such a big deal about sugar. What's the big deal? So this is the big deal. I'm trying to find, at some point in time, I made a video about making a boy change his name because dad named him as Alienation, which it is. But at some point in time, she got on the phone and told me that I am not allowed to call him that anymore. And if I do, I can't talk to him no more. I'm trying to find where that came in and to sit and listen to hours and hours. This past week, I mean, God, it is horrendous to sit here and have to live it and then go through all this to relive it and then have to air it. I mean, this week has been horrible for me. But I've been sticking to it and trying to get it out there. So, listening through my recordings again, I went and listened to the audio recording that I aired about that I aired in the video, changing a child's name. Um, in that recording, I missed it the first couple of times I listened to it, even, and maybe I didn't the first time when it actually happened. I can't remember what was going through my head every instance of my life. Um, and you hear me quiet and not. I mean, in the beginning, you hear me all in the beginning calls with my kids. I'm all sorts of playful, and we're playing games and having a great time on the phone. Mom has put a complete end to that. Our calls used to go from an hour to 2 hours. Now they're like 5 minutes if I even get one. And it even hurt because I didn't realize how many times, over 50 missed phone calls that she didn't answer. But yet it's telling my kids that I'm the one not doing it, telling the courts that I'm the one not doing it. That's why I made that video. So listening to that recording again, if you go back to the audio recording itself, not the full video link, because I don't know, going back, I didn't have to look. At 22 minutes in, you hear another in this audio recording again. So many of these conversations I get with my kids, they're sick all the time. All the time. Well, again, this right here proves why. So listening to that audio recording, if you'll hear my son sick again, kids are sick again. At 22 minutes into this video, or into this audio recording, you hear mom audibly say, I don't think you're sick. You ate too many sweets. Now, you guys want to keep, if anybody out there wants to say that, I'm making a big deal about sugar, how often does a kid have to eat so many sweets to make him sick? How many conversations do I have to have with my kids where here's ice cream, here's cake, and here's giant marshmallows too? Here's three suckers. Oh, here, have two cookies on top of it. Oh, and I'm going to get ice cream. I do not want my kids to grow up with all of the problems that imposes, the health effects. I mean, their teeth are already rotten out of their head, apparently. Um, it's wrong. I mean, I literally just have to sit here and say 90% of the time I get to talk to my kids, sugar, sugar, sugar. I don't want them to grow up obese. I don't want them to grow up with all the health problems, diabetes, and the mentality of as they become adults that we're just going to eat a bunch of garbage and not live a healthy life and eat a healthy diet. All of it is wrong, all of it. So if you go back to that audio recording, you'll hear my kids are sick again at 22 minutes in. She says, I don't think you're sick. You ate too many sweets. But what does she give him in that same recording? I think you're not sick. I think you've had too many sweets. So here's a popsicle. Popsicle is more sugar. Sugar is acidic. Vast majority of the time you have an upset stomach. I mean, in my case, I have severe organ damage, so it's not always just an upset stomach. In my case, I have damage that causes pain. But if you have an upset stomach, it means your stomach's on a high acidic level, and you need a base to neutralize that acidity. For me, when I get an upset stomach, most of the time I drink a half a cup of milk, and most of the time that takes care of it, as long as it's not I'm having the nerve pain and the damage pain, and it's just an upset stomach. I just drink like half a cup. half a cup of milk. I mean, that's what Pepto-Bismol is. It's a base that neutralizes the acid in your stomach. So you don't give kid more sugar, especially if he's got an upset stomach from eating too much sugar, and add more acid and sugar on top of all of that. And then the red dye. The red dye is a very real thing. I've known about it for, I'd say honestly, 15 to 20 years. I've known about it long before my son ever had it. This is not anything new. It's been around for a very long time. And here's another, I mean, again, talking about the candy. And this is part of not having dad in his life and part of keeping our family together so that I could help try to keep this balance all the way through all of it. So last Christmas, I have my son recorded telling me, and I told my wife we have no more candy canes at Christmas. Well, we have to have candy canes. It's Christmas. Candy canes are what makes Christmas. It's not what makes a Christmas tree. So I did not allow candy canes to be in the house. You don't dangle something in front of a kid's face that he can't have, or take the chance that he is going to get into it on his own. They're hanging right on a Christmas tree. He had not out of reach. So, and then he gets that and all the repercussions that could come from it. I mean, the way he acts out, he turns into a complete monster. He's normally such a sweet, loving boy, but red dye turns him into a monster. So what happens when he hurts somebody, hurts himself, does something irrational, or just simply keeps acting out and getting in trouble for it? Now, I have it recorded last Christmas, him telling me, and I could hear it. Yeah, again, I've called him out every time. I've never been wrong. I could hear it in his attitude. Buddy, what are you eating? Oh, I had a candy cane a little bit ago. There it is, the red dye again. And every time I know it, I hear it in him. I can just hear it right in his tone of voice. Um, so for anybody who wants to think I'm making a big deal about the sugar, it's not. It is a big deal. It's not something that's light because has been way excessive. And the whole red dye in itself is not something anything should be near my son and something he should even be tempted with. But now she's back to being on her own and doing this to our kids. That was part of the problem she had with me as a husband. Not because I yelled or screamed or did anything like that. I just tried to explain common sense. But she doesn't have common sense. It's not about the kid, it's about her. Listen to that in recordings that I've already aired. You want more of it? I'll play you more of it. I've got years of it. It's not right for them. Kids don't deserve that. And again, I've already aired the video where she acknowledges he can't have that, but yet still continues to give it to him. So no, I don't know what people are thinking because nobody's commenting. Please comment, share your ideas, tell me what you're thinking. Um, I mean, the people around me that I talk to personally, they already know the stories, and they're like, "Yeah, that's wrong." My counselor, that's very wrong. So I don't know what you think. I mean, why would you do that to a kid? It's Christmas time again. How many candy canes are on the tree? How much red dye is he eating through all the candy? I mean, that's part of Christmas, red and green. Those are the traditional Christmas colors. Candy follows suit in that. Already heard it in my recordings, eating Hershey Kisses with red stripes in it. And then the reaction from it. It is a big deal. And I don't want my kids suffering from it.